flip it, flip, flip on flips. Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about the various magnifiers in our lineup from the VMX-3T to the Micro3x and the Micro6x. All of these magnifiers are designed to be used with a red dot or holographic sight, most commonly atop a carbine like an AR-15. And they bring your target in a little bit closer and give you a clear image of it to make better engagements on targets at distance. All of these optics mount behind either a red dot or a holographic sight, and in order to work properly with that sight, they need to be mounted at the exact same height. Well, they all have a mounting system that allows the user to select between either an absolute or a lower 1/3 co-witness height, or in the case of the Micro6x, it actually comes with an additional riser to mount it at a 1.93 inch height. Now, just because you mount one of these magnifiers to your firearm doesn't mean that you always have to use it engaged behind either the red dot or holographic sight that you're using. All of their mounts allow you to flip them to the side so that you can use the red dot or holographic sight completely unimpeded and as it normally sits at essentially 1x. And then when you want to magnify your image, you just simply flip them back in front of the red dot and you're ready to go. First, let's go into the VMX-3T. Now, as the number in the name implies, this magnifies your image 3 times. The base is going to be a notable difference between this and the Micro series of magnifiers. First off, we have our mechanism for attaching it to the rail of our rifle. This is a non-quick release mechanism. As we mentioned before, this optic can be mounted at 2 different heights, absolute or lower 1/3 co-witness, and that's achieved via the shim system with all of the parts included in the box. In this case, as you see it here, the VMX-3T is exactly as it would be if it were engaged behind our red dot or holographic sight. If we wanted to disengage it and move it to the side, we would depress this button here, unlocking the sight from its current position, and that would allow us to flip it to the side. Once it's to the side, it is again locked in place, so it's not going to go anywhere until we depress this button and flip it back to its engaged position. Out of the box, you'll find that when the button is facing back towards you as the shooter, the VMX-3T flips to the left side of the firearm. You can dismount the optic, flip it 180, and then have the optic flip to the right side, but just note that the button will now face forward away from you. A subtle difference you'll notice between the VMX-3T and both of the micro magnifiers is these adjustments. Both elevation and windage are exposed, whereas on the micro series of magnifiers, the body comes up and covers the turrets on both sides, making them more snag-free. When it comes to space and weight considerations on your rifle, the VMX-3T takes up about 4.2 inches in terms of length, and weight is about 11.9 ounces. Now, both the Micro3x and the Micro6x are essentially identical features-wise, with the obvious difference just being the magnification level, 3x being a 3x zoom and the 6x being a 6x zoom. Other than that, in comparison to the VMX-3T, you'll also notice, if you look at them side by side, the optical systems are an upgrade over the VMX-3T as well, with overall image clarity and performance. Now, looking at the Micro3x here, you'll see that while we are maintaining the same magnification that we got with the VMX-3T, now we're doing it with a better optical system and in a much smaller and lighter weight package. In terms of length, this optic comes in at just under 2.9 inches, and as far as weight goes, it's just a hair over 9.5 ounces. The mounting solution on the Micro3x is also fairly notably different than the VMX-3T. In this case now, to attach the optic to our firearm, we have an adjustable quick release lever. As you can see here, the Micro3x looks exactly as it would when it's engaged behind a red dot or a holographic sight. Now, when you want to move that to the side so you can use that sight by itself, we're simply going to overcome the force of a cam in this case that's locking it in place, whether behind the optic or to the side. So we no longer have a button to depress like we had on the VMX-3T. Again, like I said, that's locked in place once it is out to the side. So if we want to flip it back in front of the optic, we just need to overcome that force of the cam again, and it flips right back into place. With the Micro3x out of the box, it'll be set up to flip to the right side of your firearm. If you'd like it to flip to the left side of your firearm, all you need to do is dismount the optic from the base, rotate it 180 degrees, and now it's going to be set up to flip to the left side. Looking at the Micro6x, like we said before, all of the features are essentially exactly the same as the Micro3x. Though because we have stepped up to a 6x optical zoom, we have gained a bit of size. Now we have an optic that is just under 4.3 inches long and 10.9 ounces in terms of weight. The base with its quick release lever and flip system is exactly the same as you saw on the Micro3x. Again, the only difference is that with the Micro6x here, when you open the box, you'll see an additional shim to raise the optic up to 1.93 inches, in addition to the regular shim that allows you to switch between absolute or lower 1/3 co-witness heights. So there you have it, folks. That is our magnifier lineup. If you have any questions about these optics in particular, or really any of our products at all, we're always happy to answer those. You can hit us up via phone, email, social media, whatever works best for you. We love hearing from you guys, but in the meantime, we will see you on the next video.